Hello friends, welcome to the Move It Mama podcast. This started many years ago as a way to connect more with you outside of our workouts. Each week you can expect us to chat about anything and everything as we muddle our way through life. If you want to work out with us, you can join us on the app at app.moveitmama.co.nz, and if you enjoy listening to us on our podcast, hit like and subscribe.
Hi, Lisa Jane Fong. Yep.
Hi.
Are we channeling some grumpy energy this morning between us?
I just feel quite flat.
Yeah, I had this talk with Kirst a few weeks ago. She's like, do you ever get that? Do you ever get just like a real flat? I was like, yeah, definitely I do. And sometimes you can't explain it, hey?
I feel like I've been flat for a few days in a row, which is kind of dumb.
Yeah, and like you meant, and really confusing when it's at a stage of your cycle where you kind of are not justified to feel flat.
Yeah. And I feel tired from both physically and mentally.
Your weekends are never chill, so you have that, don't you? You know, it's just so much
So they're
back
not
to
chill,
back
but when
on.
I'm at home, so yesterday we were out early for rugby reps, and then we came home for like maybe 45 minutes and then back out to AFL. But I was thinking, if we're home, they'll just have the TV on and they'll be bored.
So it's not bad to have those things
So
on.
I'm kind of like, I'd rather be outside and, watching them play sport, really.
Mm-mm.
But
Well,
it is tiring, yeah.
yeah, pretty
Organising
exhausting
the
for you.
uniforms and clothes and washing. Like, honestly, the washing is just like never ending. I cannot stand it.
You've got a really good sized laundry. Do you do what I do and have it? No, you would never. This is a dumb question. Like I leave folded laundry on my laundry bench. I'm just thinking you've got quite a bit of space there. Do you ever leave folded? No, I know the answer to the question. You don't just leave piles folded on the bench, do you? It always goes straight away.
No way. Where do you put your, my routine is washing's done, washing goes out on the line, washing comes in, thrown on the couch. There's this one couch that it all gets thrown on. And then I get around to folding it and put it into piles. And what is so intimidating about folding my washing is it's just all the same color.
And whose is this? And what
And
boy?
it's actually a fucking head to it. It's actually like,
it's a real neg of all same gender, isn't it?
it's so annoying. Like, you have no idea how annoying it is. And like, you've got to try and remember what brand, like each child kind of has a different brand undies because it's just so much easier if they've got different brands. So
what brands are we rolling?
So Louis has Calvin Klein and Nobby.
Wow. Elitist.
Rico has, yeah. But you can get them kind of cheap in bunches from TK Maxx.
Outlet sports store, yeah.
Yeah. And then they're all kind of some and then Rico has one called like Sorka or something. He's just more about comfort. He wouldn't give a hoot about what brand it was for undies. Louis more like, Carlos has Tradie and Tainer has Nobbies. So he's in like pattern-y kind of ones.
Yeah.
Carlos sort of has plain ones. So that's that. But like school uniform shirts and rugby tops and shorts, formal uniform, normal uniform, and like sports uniform. And so then I put them in piles, and then they literally stay there until I've actually screamed at them 100 times and given them a threat before they go to their rooms. And then Dan and I were listening to a podcast, which shut the front door.
Groundbreaking
podcast. And it was about like the mum not feeling appreciated that she does the washing. She cleans the washing, folds the washing, and then she puts it at the bottom of the stairs for the kids to take up, but they would never take it up. And then she had a chat with them like, this is really, it makes me feel like you're not appreciative, rah. And I'm like, wow, I leave they can sit on the couch in folded piles and they come and get their shit from the pile. Like they'll come in the morning and they'll get their PE top and they won't take their pile. And then the piles will be messy. And I'm like, what? So then I'm just letting you in on the secret of my house, is that like, I don't think my kids are that great anymore. I think they were so much better when they were little. And
Um,
so then I scream at them and rant at them and they take them. Right now, there's Louis' pile of washing on the couch. When I left this morning, there's Louis, but he's not home. He stayed out last night at friends. Everyone's taken their pile, but there's towels folded. So who puts those away?
Mom.
Yeah, but mom hasn't, because she's just kind of waiting for a miraculous person just to take them. But it's not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? Um, you know, well, you and I are not the type of mother who has the skill set or drive to print those labels, those pretty little labels that label the clothes. You know, those
But Dan was
marks.
like, we should like label. I'm like, you're still looking inside to find out, where do you put the label? Right on the main breast of the top?
I reckon it'll real. I'm label curious, I would say,
Are you? I am
because
not label curious, because you still got to look inside the collar to see
you
whose
could
fucking label it
you
is.
do them online and you buy ones that you either iron on or stick on. I'll get you the name because I'm about to do it, I reckon. So because Nina and Bo they can just wear the same shirt, it's the same size. So it doesn't even matter. So I just shove it in. But then next minute there's no shirt in Nina's drawer. There I've put them all in Bo's, you know?
This is Carlos and Taylor. We're the
Yeah.
same size, and they
Yeah.
always argue like, you burn.
And you can make them different colors and you can put a different emoji on it. Or no emoji. You know, I'm not that type of mom, but I'm gonna do it, I reckon.
Way more fun doing it with like two kids and boy or girl.
Look, you know, I just reckon just do it. It's called Stuck on You NZ.
I'm not doing it because I don't have an iron,
I think I've got yours. I think you gave it to
and
me.
I feel like by the time I do it, they'll have grown out of that top and need a new one anyway.
Yeah, fucking I know. I ironed jeans on the weekend. I don't think I've used an iron for about 2 years. And Nina said,
I
"Oh, you're doing
literally
some
don't have an iron.
ironing, Mum." I said, How do you even
How
know
do
what
you
this
know what that
is?"
is?
And she said, from a book, irons lions sit on irons on the book, Oi Frog. That's how she knows about an iron. Funny, eh?
And it's so funny that we both don't really iron.
I just don't.
I'm drinking water out of a cup.
Oh, out of a mug.
I've poured my bottle into a cup.
Oh, to save your wrinkles. Wrinkles,
Mm.
schminkles. Lisa and I, just before we got on, were talking about insecurities. I have one that I just really have to voice now that we're talking about that, which is this like heavy bottom jaw. Like I'm dominant in the bottom part of my mouth. You know this, eh? I'm sort of like that. Like the bottom is always really dominant. And I
I
just put
think
something on Instagram
so in
talking
real
and be like,
life. So in real life, you're
less
not.
less dominant.
It's just
Yeah.
when you do. It's just when you do an Instagram story. But I'm the same. I always, because you try and it's such a head to a guy's like, we try not to care about what we look like, but it's really hard. And so you talk to the camera in a way that you feel most natural, possibly, and it might appear that when your most natural angle is bottom jaw dominant, but like fuck, I was telling Jess that I always do the same like pretty face on my like workout end of workout.
You try to make the same.
Sometimes do you do this? Sometimes you'll do an Instagram story and you'll know that you don't look great, but you're just like, who cares? Because who cares? And then you're just so gutted it's there, but you can wait 24 hours, thank God it's gone. And you don't want to delete it because you're like, no,
That's
I'm not
vain.
deleting it because I don't care.
Yeah.
And then you're
Yeah.
so happy when it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I relate. Yeah.
I actually I pinned
Unpinned. What do you
the
unpin?
your
Pelvic
reel
floor
of you
thing.
in the
Oh,
spa.
the spa. I don't know if I meant to pin that, but I kept noticing it pinning there.
I just kept seeing it of you swimming with your cap on, and I was like, I think I'm gonna unpin that now. Like, see
Oh,
that at the top.
rude. So you had the like story anxiety of yourself looking shit. You had that for me in my cap. You were like, she looks shit. I've got to get that
No, you
unpinned.
don't know shit. It's just like kind of It was just.
kind of.
I'm not
Yeah.
very tolerant with things lately. Like I did your
Lisa,
workout and your
I
kids
didn't
were
like
really loud.
it. So my
I
kids
did
were
your
really
workout. No,
noisy.
but I'm not feeling happy. So it was a
Yeah.
um
Reminder.
really good reminder of when people used to get annoyed with my workouts because I had so much chaos. I remember someone like quit because she couldn't work out with me because I had just too much going on. And it actually, because your workout was great. It was a really good workout,
Mm.
but I was just in a grump, so everything was kind of irritating me. And
Mm.
but it's a reminder of like, look within here because it wasn't anything to do with you, and your kids were fine. I just was like, funny. And then I thought, oh, I think I want to get a new job. As well as this job, though, I could do another job. And I asked Dan, could I get a job? And he was like, well, you could. You'd have to get like flexible hours, though. So you could do Move It Mama. And I was like, what would I want to do? And then, so if anyone's got a job for me, hit me
Lisa,
up.
shush. Come on. You no. Um,
Nah, but I was thinking, what would I want to do? Like, and I thought I could work at a cafe. But then imagine going to the cafe and having to learn where everything was kept.
I think that you it's been quite a while of running this business, and there, like with any job, you can have like peaks and troughs, or just like feelings of like, and I feel like I hear entrepreneurs or business owners talk to this quite a bit of just like every now and then it's just tempting just to throw in the towel.
Well, I do feel quite fatigued from it, and I was thinking how good it
Mhm.
would be to throw it in and then get a job where I didn't have I
The
didn't have to make a decision,
responsibility of that, yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure and responsibility in your role, but also there's a lot of good. So potentially, potentially a time to, start thinking, rejig, refresh somehow to get some, because there are some really wonderful, it's a very wonderfully successful, great business. But people, and I mean, I know I don't relate fully because I'm not in your position of the business, but and people would relate to that who are in your position. I met someone on Saturday night at the party who I just got real big boss dog energy from, and she was baller. And then I've since Googled the shit out of her, and she has big boss energy in her work life. And
That's what I want to be.
you are.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I want to
oh
be
man.
like, I want to work at like a top dog office and be like top dog,
Hey,
and like people be like, she's top dog energy.
I think people listening to the podcast will be like, shut up, you've got a real good gig.
I just think I read too much rubbish.
Um, my friend was trying to tell this woman about the podcast, trying to tell her it's good and to listen.
What,
And I
this
was
top
like,
dog woman?
shut up,
No, 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 no.
please.
Although we do have people that are top dog that do listen, so we shouldn't be so judgy about
Self-deprecating.
people who listen.
Yeah.
Um, there's a top dog like member. You don't even sometimes you don't even know what they do, but you just can feel their energy.
Yeah. And yes.
Strong woman, strong
Yeah.
woman,
Yeah.
women. Do you know what is my pet peeve when people don't say women correctly?
And they say woman,
Woman,
because
woman.
woman is one person,
Yeah,
women
it's
is
women.
multiple.
And I actually didn't know that until one of my very longest time friends told me about that a few years ago. And I'm so happy because now I can't unsee that when people say woman. So just a little language lesson, guys. It's women when you're talking about
Women
more than one.
for multiple. I'm wondering if this week leading into Mother's Day is making you feel a bit flat, adding to your
Oh, I'm
flat.
so like stressed about that. Like I was thinking here about how I want to go away for the night on my own to a hotel. So the boys were like, I said, oh, it's Mother's Day. And Dan was like, oh, you boys can get something for mum from the Mother's Day store, which they do at school. And I'm like, no, maybe not.
Brick and
And so
brick,
then I was
brick and
like,
brack.
and then Carlos was like, what do you want, mummy? And I was like, I want a night away at a hotel, in Noosa.
Can they
I was
sit?
like to
Do you
Dan,
reckon?
that's easy. And then I was like, he must feel weird about that because it's like this is going to sound dark. Like I don't know how this is going to come out or sound, but obviously hasn't been working for 2 years. So
Mm.
him went and organising me a night in the hotel is like well, obviously we share money, we do, yeah, but still he'd just be like, I don't know. I just thought it's not like he can go out with his own bank account and go, I bought
Yeah.
you this.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to book it myself and be like, I've bought myself a Mother's Day present. But then I don't know what night to do that because they have sports Saturday, Sunday. So on a weekday, weird.
Yeah. What about like a Thursday night and then
I've got my workout on a Friday. I was thinking maybe I could do it on a
Wednesday night,
Wednesday night
and then they
and then
bust
get
the
the
next
bus
day?
on the next day.
Yeah, do that, and then it's less busy, more cheaper hotel.
Should I actually look like that's all I want to do on a that's all that would be my
You
favorite gift of all
deserve
time.
it. Do
But
it.
then I don't sleep.
And then you live in guilt. Fuck, motherfucker. Sorry, let's not swear. I forwarded Dora a post last night. I don't know who this
You want to go to a hotel?
I, I sent this to Dora. You know, you take all this content of your kids and you, especially when they're younger, but like you've got, yeah, less so now because yours don't want
Oh, that was another
photos.
thing I thought when you were doing the workout. Like I was pissed off because I was like, oh, my kids just are in bed now. Like they're never up. They're not playing. Like Nina was like, come on, Black Bo, keep playing. And I was like, so sad that I don't have that anymore. And you're probably like, oh, I can't wait till they just stay in bed.
Such is
It's
life,
such a,
eh? I know.
yeah.
Head door. Kids change fast, their voices, their answers, their whole world, these little clips. So I sent this to Dora. This is a free present for me. Film these children answering these questions and just like write me a card and do this.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
like if they're little, like questions like what does mum always say to you? What is mum good at? What makes mum happy? What's your favorite thing to do with mum? How does mum make me feel? And then like if they're older, what has mum taught you that you'll remember? I mean, you know, to get an obliging kid is the first problem that you come up with. But what's your favorite memory with mum? What does she do that really matters, but she might not realize? Like, I mean,
Do you know what Carlos said to me last night? I just always go back to him because like he'll say something like so nice compared to anyone else. He'll go, like last night, I was making a bed up for Rico's mate who was staying. And he goes, Mum, do you know what is one thing that is just makes you the best mum in the world? I mean, there's a million things, but this is just one thing that I'm just thinking of right now, is that you come to every single game of sport, or if you don't come, you get someone to help out to take me and have someone watching for me.
the emotional maturity of that man is quite out
He's a
the
man.
gate. Yeah, it is like really wise for his size. What's up with that?
It is weird, eh?
When he
I feel
was
sorry for
born,
him.
this third born, you felt this was like how Papa Tony reincarnated almost. This is
I
like a bit
believed
trippy,
as
but
soon as
you were like,
that was
what?
so weird. It was like the first time I've ever thought of reincarnation. I thought he was my papa. It was so
Yeah,
weird.
and it's almost
And
like
he
he's
is
had this
kind of
wisdom that's gone with it.
mm,
It's like,
he's
mm,
I know,
mm,
very cute. He wants to play tennis today. He's like, "What time will you be home? What's the approximate time? Can you book me us a tennis court?"
that's fun. That's fun. Well,
Sort of. But I've got a tumor in my knee and it's kind of not that fun because my tumor hurts.
when is the next step with that?
I'm just waiting.
Yeah, for what?
It's category 1. So like they reckon that I'll get seen by the public system real quick because it's category 1. So if it was, so I could pay and go private, but I'm not because I don't have enough money. It's gonna like it could cost quite a bit. So I'm just waiting.
Mm-hmm. ETA, 12 to 24 months, less
No,
than?
I think category 1 is between like 1 and 4 months. So it could be right when I come to New Zealand and it could be right when we go to Fiji. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Um,
They say category 1's like within 4 weeks.
category 1, say the name of it again.
Giant cell tumor in my sheath, in my the sheath lining of my knee.
That's cooked, eh?
Anyway, so you're gonna get that video done? Is Dora gonna do that for you?
Probably not, but they keep asking me what I want.
Or
And
you
Nina's
can
like,
just do
Mum,
it?
I'm pretty sure Dad doesn't have you anything yet. What would you like? I said, I'd always love a pair of new pajamas, but most of all, I want a Kindle. She said, What's a Kindle? And I explained. She said, Yes, Mirren has that. She sits next to the pool with that. I was like, Yeah, she does. I said, I don't think Dad wants to buy it for me though, because one, it's quite a bit of money, but two, I lost one, on the plane 10 years ago. Anyway,
I just think that's so sweet that she's so invested in gift giving.
she she has lost her mind this morning with her first wiggly tooth. Like all her mates have lost their teeth. She's just this, I call it a stroke face that she does, that face where she cannot contain her excitement on her face when
Because
she
she's
looks
got a
at
wiggly
you.
tooth.
Oh my God. I knew that she was just excited for school because even though
How
her
old is
brother's not
she?
there,
She'll
she's
be
nearly
7.
7. Sh-
Yeah,
She's,
that's late, eh? Because that's my kids too,
oh
around there.
yeah, all her mates have got like
I
4.
think one of them was maybe 8.
Yeah, I think Tay was 8. I keep telling you, you might be like Tay. Um, but I had this thought on the weekend, by the way, that my first weekend of Saturday sport, and I've lived in a world of dread for the day to come, and I had this sort of this kind of not epiphany, realization that, when you are in the depths of young children, and I know you know this very well, the weekends come around and like the weekends are sort of no different and they're not that they can feel flat because you've parented all week with children at home because well, for those of us who had children at home and didn't work full time, you know what I mean, they're not in daycare every day. And then the weekends is like the same, and you kind of look around going like, what should we do? What do we do? We need plans,
That's
and we've
why
got no
routine's
plans.
quite good, eh? Like
Yeah,
Dan and I used to always go out for, we'd go for a drive and get a takeaway coffee
yeah,
and we'd
and
take, but,
yeah,
but and then if you decide, oh, we'll just wing it today, that often goes pear-shaped.
Yeah, and we would always do that, but I really enjoyed having the Saturday sport
Focus.
focus for the first time. I thought
Yeah.
this is cool, and we're out for a good portion. And, unlike you, we come home and we don't have another sport to go to, but
It's quite cool. You've only just got one game, like one
one
sport.
each.
Right?
Yeah.
What did Bo
Anyway,
play on Saturday?
Bo played Ripper and Nina played hockey,
Oh,
and
did he play rugby? Did he play the game on Saturday?
he played the game on Saturday.
Oh,
It's
cool. And how did he
Tuesday.
go?
Um, Dorian took him, which was risky business. He was fine. And then I called at like halftime and he heard me on the phone. And then the coach said to him, it's going to be your turn with the ball. And he didn't want to go on. So I'm just happy. I'm taking it as a win. He went on and he didn't cry. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um, Turns out that hockey's quite a cool sport. I didn't know that.
I
I
thought hockey was a sport for the girls that couldn't catch.
was it. Is that what we thought?
Yeah.
Hockey, I just feel like
But it's actually really cool.
I think the actual issue was we were all shit at it, so we didn't like it.
No, we were not shit at it. We never played it. We never played it.
I feel like we
And it
played it
was
at
more
PE.
when we were, to be honest, I feel like it's a lot of back bending.
It is a lot of rounding of the spine.
Yeah, and I'm
Yes,
like, that's so dumb. Like you're
awfully
bending and
sore.
running, bent.
So much bending. Nina's
But
been
it's quite a
outside.
hot girl sport, eh?
Nina was outside playing yesterday, and I was like, far out. That poor back.
Yeah,
Imagine
do the
doing that
hockey
for
girls have
30
back problems?
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
I think for when we were at school, the girls that were sporty played netball and basketball, and the ones that couldn't catch played hockey
Yeah,
and soccer. Like I just feel like
interesting.
that was kind of what everyone that was the presumption. This is ridiculous because I don't believe this is true, guys. But then turns out that I remember when the Black Sticks, was it Mandy,
I can't say I
someone
know
in the
any of
Black
the hockeys.
Sticks?
Yeah.
Dean Barker married her or something, the
Yeah.
sailing guy.
Yeah.
Mandy was like a pin-up girl. And
Yeah.
wasn't Gemma McCaw a hockey
Yeah.
girl?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
was.
and like they all were quite hot. Anna Carter,
She's
Dan
a hockey
Carter's.
chick.
She was a hockey chick too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Well, yeah,
I
it
wonder
was
if they can
really
catch.
cool. Yeah, interesting. I mean, it was really cool.
Yeah.
And there were a few Move It Mamas at there actually. And they're in the hockey scene.
Where do
And
you do hockey? Is it outside?
yes, but how lovely that it's on AstroTurf, not muddy.
Yeah, cool. And maybe possibly one day it could be indoors. No?
You'd hope so, because it was
Where is
already pretty fresh.
where is
Um,
it?
it's
Hockey?
at Lake St. Bede's, like that field. There's like a
Oh
AstroTurf
yeah.
thing.
Oh, a lot. Oh yeah, cool.
That's where we're going
And
anyway.
did she get a goal?
It's not, they don't, well, normally they play a little game at the end, but it's actually for her
Just
first year. It's
drills.
drills and stuff, which was lovely. It was moved quickly through the drills, didn't sit around waiting for anything. Great sausage sizzle at the end.
This is really cool for her. I think it's cooler maybe playing hockey than netball. Maybe it's not as bitchy. Do you think? Because netball can be quite bitchy. I wonder if hockey can be.
This is the thing about women, though. Like, women are bitches, you know?
Or do we just think that, do we just have this perception that it's bitchy? Is it bitchy?
I
But
just
boys
said
can be
women are
bitches
bitches. That was
too.
such a blanket statement.
Rico's so rude. We were talking, Dan and I. Rico speaks rude to his mates and to me, all the same tone. We're like, you need to start speaking kind.
Mm.
They all just like laugh at him though. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, women are bitches. Yeah. Well, I do feel happy I had 4 sons.
Yeah, no, women are not bitches. But what is? I heard someone talking yesterday on Instagram
I
about
don't
like,
think they are. I think a lot of women are insecure. And as I said, when I did your workout and I'm feeling insecure and shitty today, you kind of have, you sort of, we ruminate thoughts in our head. But
yeah,
really, people can be bitches, not women and
I know.
girls and daughters and sons. I mean, my sons are so bloody annoying that sometimes
No,
I'm
I
like, give
know.
me 4 girls. But, I think it's personality and I think it's insecurities and I think it's like the women chat a lot more. So you might say something that someone's told you, but you didn't really mean to say it, but then you look like you talk behind someone's back. But that's because
Yeah, I
you're so
know.
vocal with your chat.
Yeah, and I think you're right, but
And
I'm
we try and
also
empathize. So someone might be talking to me about someone. Sorry, I know I'm cutting you off. But like for instance, I even thought about this last night. Someone was talking to me about somebody and I agreed with that person. And then I thought, that's not right. I shouldn't have agreed with that but I
you
just wanted to
didn't.
kind of like show that I understood. But I
So, yeah, this is a fascinating one for me because I feel like even Luke Bateman, the rugby player turned book author, writer, reviewer guy, the hot one in the truck, has been talking about men, this in relation to men lately, of staying silent and the implications of that. Where, say, like, a group of guys is hanging around and one guy starts like dissing his missus or dissing, just kind of being rude, and the general reaction and response of the men around is to like laugh it off and like not say anything about someone being rude. And
mm.
same in female situations too, really, maybe little less so, that we just like, there's this real problem where we don't speak up. And I
Or
don't,
or you do agree and
and you
then you
don't
feel like
really.
no, but
I
you want to try
know,
and
I know. But
yeah.
yeah, is it a mix of the people pleaser in you as well as, yeah, I'm a keep the peace
Well,
person.
you want to relate and you want to make that person feel understood to the detriment of others, though, and it's not right. Like I remember I walked
Mm,
away like, oh, I
mm,
didn't really agree with that. Why did
mm.
I let that person say that and not, yeah,
I
what,
do that a
because you
bit.
don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes maybe you can't even just be bothered talking that much, so you just agree just to end the chat. But um, I think also, yeah, I think it's a big thing. Why are we even talking about this? I'm not really sure, but
We were talking about bitchy netball, and it's a total. We're totally being silly and
I
everything.
think,
But
though, as we know, the problem always lies within. If people are being super bitchy or say not very nice things, there's normally a problem within. Like, yeah, if you're feeling shit about yourself and then you start having all these thoughts about someone or something, it's probably to do with how you're feeling within.
absolutely, I do think though, like there's that whole generalization that girls are bitchier than boys, like in the playground. But I actually don't agree with that because my
Mm-hmm.
kids have had issues with friends and they're
Mm-hmm.
boys. So I'm like, I don't think. I do remember being a teacher, and the girls would sort of be a bit like, "No, don't just come and sit by me. No, she can't sit by me."
Mm.
And but I mean, I see that happen in boys' situations too. I
I
think it's just
think,
personality, eh?
yeah, I think my generalization back would be that boys move on from them faster and
That's
let it
true.
go, and the chicks
Yes, I
don't.
think that's that I mean, obviously we're generalizing here, but I do agree with that. But I mean, because we have so many more emotions to deal with.
Yeah, maybe.
We so there might be an issue, but we escalate it in different emotions.
Hmm.
Whereas boys probably there's just not much going on there. Most
Simple.
generalizing that they
Mm.
just get over things quite quickly. Like yeah, they don't, my boys generally don't really hold a grudge. They can move on quite quickly. Whereas I'm really waiting for repair. And Dan's like, you're not going to get that. Like they've moved on from it. But I hold it. I get hurt and I'm like, I want you to repair this with me.
Mm.
Whereas,
Yeah. What's the podcast you've been listening to? Because I've seen some comments on your workouts too that you and Dan are listening to.
Oh God. Okay. So a friend of mine sent me this podcast. I told you about it, didn't I?
I think so, but
It
I
was
don't
called
remember.
it's pretty intense. I mean, it's a Christian couple. He's actually since died. It was called Cultivating a Happy Marriage. A friend of mine messaged me, sent me a message with it. And it's these two married couple, and the actual picture of the podcast looks like they're part of a cult, and it's not very, you would look at it go, oh my God. But the messages behind their podcast, like the topics, were so, I really rated. I thought it was really good. They do reference the Bible quite a bit, and which I found parts a bit annoying. But the actual, I thought it was really, really good for marriage. Try and make your marriage good or work. Try and make your marriage continue to work. And so I actually sent it to my husband and said, I've just listened to this. There is quite a lot of like biblical references, but it would mean a lot to me if you listened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's finished it, but he's pretty nearly finished it. And we haven't discussed it yet. So I need to go back because I'm actually grumpy now anyway. I was in a good sort of patch last week. Now I'm grumpy.
What do you think's really, really sort of adding to the grump?
Well, I just get stressed. Like last night he couldn't wee and I just like, oh, for fuck's sake, I can't go down. Like why can't you wee?
Mm.
And I just get stressed about any kind of problem. Like he's got conjunctivitis and I'm just like, it reminds me of when they thought he had leukemia behind his eyes and then he can't wee. And I'm like, what's wrong with your bladder now? And I'm just like, it just gives, it brings up feelings of ick and pissed off and I just get fucked off. So, and then Rico went out last night to a party down the road and there was police and and then we just didn't really parent it properly. And then it annoys me because we're niggly. So yeah, we're niggly. I gave him a kiss goodbye purely because I knew I had to just be kind, but like, I just didn't really want to, like,
Same page parenting, or yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you made some comment the other day about how you're only like your mood is dependent on his mood and his happiness.
Yeah, and I can see he freaks out when things like,
Yeah.
and I'm like he couldn't pee and he was so worried, and then he sat back up, and then he said, oh, that was so weird that I couldn't pee, and I'm like,
So hard, eh? It's so
but
it's
then
such
he
a
did pee, and I'm like, oh well, that was fine, you've peed, but like, I don't want to live this life. Like of this, it's not like a normal life of like, it's because there's just so much to it. Yeah, like I know what that life feels like so vividly, like that worry, and it's just always so rife when anything is a little bit different now. It's just like, it's just yuck, and I
it's
don't want
kind
to be
of
in it. I want to run away from it.
it's kind of like there's two parts to it. It's like you don't want to live the life in the sense that you know how terrible it can be. Say my relationship or me and Dora, none of us have had cancer yet, so we know, right? Or the cancer experience like Dan has had. And so we don't live, well, I mean, we probably should, but we're not as on edge about us getting it because we haven't lived it like you guys have. Do you know what I mean? Like we all worry that one of us is going to have
like,
cancer.
I don't want to have to get back into that hospital room
Yeah.
and hear it again. Okay, you've now got cancer in your
So there's
prostate.
this like
Because if he
constant
had 3
fear.
different cancers, what means what, like, is it probably likely that he's going to get more because he's already had 3 leukemia, lymphoma, and thyroid? Like, so I'm kind of just like grappling, like, wait, it's but you can't. And then you shouldn't live like that. You should be like, there's no point in worrying about that because it's not. But you every day something will happen and you like go back into that spiral.
And then the other part is the fact that 2 years on, it's still very, very, very hard.
And
in
then
all
you're
sorts of ways.
parenting 4 boys
Yeah,
and 2 teenagers and one about to turn 12, and like he's fine, and him, Dan, going to bed by 7 every night. So I'm dealing with Rico if he came home drunk or something. Like, I don't want to deal with that. Was what the dad was going to deal with drunk teenage boys. Not that he's come home drunk, but like I think he might have been a bit boozy last night, but he was fine. But I'm like, one day it will be like, I don't deal with drunk people very well. I don't want Dan to be in bed at 7. I want him to be up for Rico when he comes home from somewhere. I don't want to be that person. But then, because I didn't choose that life, but you can't. Like, you could say, oh, single mums have to deal with that, and that's fine. Like, I get that, and that's hard, really hard, and often you might feel like I feel. It's all valid, but Dan is there, and he's not really there, like at night, like, and then I'm like, I want him to deal with it from when Rico was going out last night. I wanted Dan to give him a chat, but Dan was too tired to even talk. And I'm like, great, okay, good night. That pissed me off. Pisses me off all the time. And then I think, what a bitch. So cultivating a healthy marriage, podcast's great.
In reality, very difficult. But I mean, wasn't that my point the other day about podcasts? Like, listen to all of them in the world and get really good like ideas and stuff. But like in reality,
I just think it is all so hard, eh? And it's so annoying that like we're at this age where you realize how hard it is and there's nothing you can do about it. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's where, like life can be very hard, and then you've had to deal with and are still dealing with, the peak of it.
Now, yeah, it's so weird, eh? Because it's not like we're in the hospital every day. But I think my life is forever changed and it's forever going to be a bit fucked up.
Yeah, I think people would, like some people would, from the outside, some people, might think like he's home, he's healthy, he's good. Like, but most people, especially those that know you and listen to this podcast, maybe appreciate that.
And then I think about like
totally different, and always will be. And it's a complete different life.
I think about single parents that have split up as well and navigating how to manage kids' sport between each other. Because Dan does a lot of like enrolling them into their teams or registering them. He's sort of taken that role. But we have to communicate all the time about who's taking what where, and so if you weren't together, you'd have to still have that communication, and like it would be so much harder. So I can see why people just stay together, especially with lots of children. I think. But do you think it would be harder? I mean, is it easier? Obviously, it would be easier to wrangle with 2, but still, there's still be so much hard on that because it depends on how you can communicate together. And if you don't communicate the same, which Dan and I don't, he's an avoidant, I'm an anxious attachment. So I'm waiting for him to come and give me a cuddle, and he's not. And that's like we haven't cuddled or touched it. Do you know like? What attachment are you? Do you know what you are?
I think I'm
an anxious attachment. Yeah.
Out of what? What are the options?
Are you Googling?
Yeah, I am.
Secure. Yeah. See, I feel like I'm more of an anxious, but my backup is secure. Whereas Dan would be avoidant, secure possibly. But like what that means is that I'm wanting him to come to me and go, everything's going to be okay. Come here, babe. but he's avoidant. So when I'm needing that, he goes the other way and just waits for me to say, can you come here and give me a cuddle? And then he will, but he avoids it.
Mm.
Crazy, eh? What do you think you are?
Secure, anxious, avoidant, dismissive, or avoidant, fearful. So those are the 4 that I've found.
Secure, anxious, avoidant. So
Secure
he's probably
is,
avoidant, dismissive.
secure is comfortable with intimacy and / dependence, communicates easily, leads with cooperative and flexible behavior.
See, I
Anxious,
think I'm that, but I'm anxious.
has
I'm really
sensitive nervous system, struggles communicating needs directly, tends to act out when triggered.
That's me,
Mm.
big time. Me.
Avoidant, dismissive, downplays importance of relationships, is usually extremely self-reliant, can become more vulnerable when there's a big crisis.
Sometimes I make, like last night with Rico in this situation, sometimes I am talking to Dan about stuff, and I know in my head that I'm just, shut up. You're actually really annoying, Lisa.
Well, that's good to have that awareness, I think.
And then, he actually came to me this morning and said, I don't think we're going to, I don't feel comfortable supplying Rico with alcohol anymore. If he's going down to a party, like if he can have some drinks at home, like some beers, like a couple, or if he goes to a party at a house where the parents are there and that kind of situation, but like he can't take a couple of beers in his bag down at the beach.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, I agree with you. And it's annoying that we've let him do that in the past. We're going to have to reparent that. So I said, we're going to have a conversation with him tonight. But like, do you know what? Like, that is what I'm saying about how hard relationships are, because we're not even discussing mine and his Dan and I's relationship. We need to work on that.
Yeah.
We're having to discuss this relationship, this manage.
Yeah.
And that takes up the whole space. There's no space or room for other stuff.
Yeah, and it's like there's a lot of chat, there's a lot of chat prior to this stage. There's so much chat about when in the throes of young children, making time for your partner, but actually like it should be chat around that for this stage too. And add to that like just perimenopausal women.
Oh,
because you get perimenopausal in the thick of it too.
And then you add in like the stress of life and disease and all that shit. But so I was just listening to it's random, but Maggie Dent is she's probably about mum's age, but she's a mother of four sons, and she's actually written 9 books. Do you know of her, Jess?
I've seen you share her, yeah.
Yeah, so she's done like her last book was actually one of her. She thought she'd finished writing when she did like girlhood or something. She did a book on girls. So, but then she's actually come back and written one more book called Help Me Help Your Teen. And she starts saying she's been a psychologist for 25 years or in psychology or something like that. And it is very, very apparent the most overwhelming time of parenthood is through when their parents are teenagers. And it's so interesting, because you do hear, as you're saying, like it's all the early years.
So much reference to the early years, yeah.
Unless, and then I think of mum and dad and like, how did they do it?
Yeah, unless we were just like in the thick of early years, so we were like just focused on that, and actually,
like algorithm showed us all the early year stuff.
Yeah,
but like
I was talking about it with people at the weekend because they have had a lot of trouble with a child who's now 16, and the other day, just kind of while they were away, 120 odd people came to the house. Police broke it up, and but talking just as you just said before, though, about how the latest sort of trend does seem to be like going to the beach for a party, or like beach parties and
is that same there?
This is in New Zealand, and not necessarily just going to someone's house. And then someone else was talking about the rules for their for the rules in their house that applies is that they can go to a party, but they want the contact number for a parent, and just to make contact with the parent, they can't go somewhere where they've got no contact with whoever is there. And this person said, and this person, the child was like, "Oh, no one's there; they're away." And they're like, well, at least lie. Like, but that means that that kid is just not going. But apparently, but I do remember going to party, like having a bit of a party at a park or a beach setting, and there is something that feels a bit more
Fun.
dodgy about it. Yeah,
Well,
kind
he
of.
came back. He was supposed to be home by 10. He had a friend's day. It was 10:02, and there had been police down. So this is 600 meters down from my road. So, and a friend, one of his best mates, mum was on. We were talking on the phone at like 8:30. She said, "Try and get him home. I'm getting my one home because the police are there." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh God!" So I was ringing him and he doesn't answer. I'm like, "Oh God." And so then he rings me back, Mum. I was like, babe, I think you should come home. He's like, no, it's fine. I was like, well, your mate's coming home, this boy, Mana. And I said, the police are there. He's like, yeah, I don't know why they're here. They've gone now. It's fine, Mum. I'll see you. I'll be home by 10. Anyway, it's 10:02. And I'm like, are you okay? So I started to text, where are you? But then I thought, no, don't text that. It's
Change the
10:02.
language. Yeah.
Just be like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, I'm just walking home now. So he gets home at like 10:11, and it's so annoying because I'm like,
Why are you late?
should I come out and see him? Do I want to see them? Do I need to make sure that it's just them two coming in? There's no like girls, which that's never happened, and he's not really into girls still yet, really. But that's coming. And should I assess how he is? Is he drunk? Do I need to make sure that they don't vomit? Or I just. Anyway, so I walk out and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, we stashed my bag. I've got to go down and get my bag. Like he'd forgotten, which is so typical. So they go back off and he's like, I'll be back in a minute. But he goes off on his mate's bike, which is a motorized bike with no helmet. And I'm like, if you've had beer or whatever else you have down at a party through your mate's bags or whatever, they'll have. But I was too slow to tell him, what are you doing? Like he shouldn't be on that bike.
No, not at all. And then the police are around as well.
And then I stand there and I wait outside. It's 10:15. And I'm like, I don't want to be doing this right now. I want to be in bed. Like I just do not want to be in this situation. But to be honest, this is just the start of it. It's going to get later and more worrying. And I've got to do it so many more times.
You spoken to your mother yet about this?
No, I haven't. But it reminded me of my mother because I used to always rock the boat and stay out late and pretend that I didn't know the time. And I was terrible. And she would be pacing. It's just horrible.
And
but
here you are.
Here I am. Anyway, he comes home 10:22 and the other boy's there, and he's fine. Like I said, make sure you have lots of water. Like, was it fun? Like I didn't say anything about being late because I said, oh, you're a bit late. And he said, well, I'm only this late because I forgot my bag. Well, yeah, but I just didn't see that. I didn't check the time. And I'm like, didn't want to make a fuss.
Real positives.
It's like, I want to go to sleep.
I think there's some real positives. A, that he answered your phone in the end, texted you back or whatever. B, that he was only 10 minutes late. Like a lot of those guys at that party probably were still going, and
the problem is though, Jess, if I don't make a point of it, next time it will be late too, and it will get later and later. Like he'll might be like,
yeah.
Like so, I'm going to say to him, which I haven't seen him this morning. I'm going to say, I said, make sure you guys have some water. Was it fun? Yeah, it was fun, but the police wrecked it. And I'm like, we'll just have.
It's a public holiday there today. That's why. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. And then he doesn't really. I would say he'd go to a party once every maybe 3 months. Like I've never provided. That's like the third time I've provided him with some alcohol in. What are we, May? And it was sort of November, his birthday, 15 was the first sort of time around. So it's not often that this is happening, which I'm stoked about. I sort of thought it would be an every weekend thing, but it's not. But we have told him that it's not happening. But I think the point is I'm going to have to chat with him and just say like, you were late. Thank you for answering my phone call and all that, but you've got to call me if you are going to be late because I worry, and especially because I knew that the police had been, like I worry. But then I don't want him to think that he can just call me every time and be late.
No.
If you are late again, you know,
There'll be consequences, and
there'll
then
be a
try and think of what that
consequence.
will be.
Exactly. God.
No Coco Melon.
No, yeah. No Wiggles. That's what we're talking about. Me and a friend, like I took him to the Wiggles concert. Like, how lovely.
Yeah.
But
Very.
then that's when Dan came to me this morning. Was like, "Oh, I don't feel comfortable that we did the." And I'm like, "Well, neither." But like,
It's a
but then I'm
real
like,
tricky
"He's gonna
one.
get it." I said,
They'll
"He's
get it
gonna go get it."
anyway.
He goes, "He does that as well anyway, though.
Yeah, they do
Like,
both.
he'll
So they
have the
get it.
beer, but exactly."
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And that's probably why our parents never gave it
Mum
to us,
didn't do it.
because we
So
waited it. They knew that we were
Mum and
waiting
Dad were right the
outside.
whole way. Like, I'm trying to parent differently and be open
And they're
and give
still
him a
wanting
few beers.
more. Mm,
Exactly. So don't do it at all. And Maggie Dent says she
don't
never
provide
gave
it.
her kids alcohol until
Interesting.
they were like 16 or something. But
Like only in your home or something.
I think so.
Yeah.
And she knew that they would get it elsewhere, but she just turned a blind eye to that in a
Well,
way.
that's it. And that's always been some of my advice to you is like you can only really sort of control them within your home, and you have no control over what
I
they do
think
outside of your
like
home.
Mum actually did it
Did
really well, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
But she gets, I'll tell her stuff that I know because the boys will tell me, and
Hmm.
she'll think that's naughty. And I'm
But
like,
we were
oh,
doing
well,
the same. We just didn't tell her.
worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
and I'm like, so I really should stop finding out stuff from my kids, really. Just let it
Ignorance
go.
is bliss, turned a blind eye to some degree.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's so
Okay.
funny. Actually, I was thinking about their washing thing. So I rang Louis at 7 o'clock last night. I was like, I rang him and he missed the call and he called me back. And he said, "Hi, Mum." I said, "Louis." He's like, "Yeah, did you call?" And I was like, "Yeah, you've got washing to be put away." Because I was just looking at his one pile.
Hmm.
He was like, "I'm not home, Mum. Can't do it." I was like, "I know you're not, but
And
it's
it's
so
still sitting there
annoying."
this
It's
morning.
still there.
Oh, he's stayed the night
He stayed the
elsewhere.
night at his friend.
Yeah, right. Okay. Um, well, I can't say I have anything as interesting to share.
Well, it's
Um,
mine interesting. I just feel like I bang on about the same shit every week.
oh,
But
I
I
think it's sort
suppose
of relatable though, isn't it? To some people, you know. I think there's yeah, like the you longing for the baby stage. I mean, that in its own right has some real challenges that are just
I
very
know,
different to the stage you're currently at, which is very, very hard.
but
And I'm somewhere in the middle, which is
but
probably the sweet spot.
you are in the sweet spot. And Mum
Yeah.
always said that to me when they're like 4, 6, 8, and 10. That's like
Mm,
amazing. And I
mm.
remember, but that I blinked and that's gone, and I didn't really embrace that
And the
because you're
time.
at the time, you're in the thick of it and you're like, oh, how cool would it be to have like teenagers? I can't wait till I've got like 14, 16, 18, 20.
Yeah, have fun.
So it's the other thing as well, like suddenly then become so overwhelmed with that thought
Yeah.
because now that I'm finding it so much more mentally exhausting, I'm now freaking out that it's only going to get more exhausting. But then the boys are like, it's so funny because I have this hope that my two little boys won't be as difficult. Although Louis is not that difficult, but then there's difficultness about just his age.
I
So
reckon
just
just
because,
hold on to the hope. Just hold
yeah,
on to the
yeah,
hope.
it's just like faith, isn't it? You've got to have
Yeah.
faith.
'Cause you gotta have faith, whatever that looks like for you. Yes. Yeah. I'm holding back on talking about the book I read at the weekend because we will revisit it in podcast, but there was a lot of faith references through it, this book called Yesteryear, and it was
Yeah.
so trippy. You should probably read it, that
I'll
book.
write that back down again. Yeah.
Yesteryear. Just to give you some insights about an influencer with millions of followers and her
Oh, fun,
perfect life. Now then it
fun.
gets really weird, and it's this woman is our friend Claire wrote perfectly to summarize it, as in it's sort of like scarily close to kind of how to real life in a way that you can picture it. Have you ever seen any of those documentaries on someone like Ruby Frankie, on the
No,
YouTuber, the family YouTuber who basically was like abusing her family? Yeah, that kind of vibe. Um, okay, shall we go?
I feel like we've not talked very long.
Oh, haven't we? feel like we
I
have.
don't know. I don't think we've touched the sides.
Okay, what else have you got?
Um, well, I was so excited that it's a public holiday and I've come to my office. I felt like, and no one's on the road, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to work.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that was cool for me.
See, aren't you lucky with your office and your job?
Yeah, I know. I am.
Mm.
But I maybe feel like doing another job too. Does anyone want to hire me? I was thinking I am quite skilled. Would I be classified as highly skilled?
What, you need a highly skilled visa. What?
I think I want to be like,
Do you still want to be a
I
broadcaster?
think I want to work for where Shah works.
Shaz, yeah, for anyone who needs to know, Shah's now working for the Between Two Bears podcast, which is very cool.
I wonder if they need me.
No, um, that's really exciting for her,
Although I
actually.
don't actually like podcast like that. I haven't found any podcasts that I'm loving. Have you?
I don't listen to any,
I
and
don't want to listen to Let Her Finish. I don't want to listen to the sex talk one. I don't want to listen to gossip stuff. I go on to health and fitness and I don't want to listen to sugar cravings and metabolism and why we need weights. I can't be bothered anymore.
yeah, it's funny, eh? You've gone through that phase almost. You're out the other side.
I'm too clever.
Yeah, I know
I've learned it all.
I find it just too hard to like, I don't drive very far, especially I don't drive very far without children. If I have the children, like, they're too like talkative, and I can't concentrate on work and listen to a podcast at the same time. So
Yeah, neither. It's podcasting is when you clean the house and tidy and do washing's quite good or make dinner, but then the kids are around
the
and it's
kids are
bloody
around, I don't do that
I
either.
know.
And then
I'm like,
actually,
I'm listening. I can't hear you.
yeah, I've
I
done it
can't
like,
hear you. I'm now I
yeah,
feel bad.
yeah. I need to get back into my running era. That will help me.
Oh my God.
Listen to podcasts. Yeah, let's just shout out to Kirsten
I
Gordon.
can't believe that fucked me
Uh,
off.
You wrote back. No, you wrote to me. I didn't even know Kirsten was
I
doing a
wrote to
run.
her. Well, yeah, well, piss off. She wins it. Like, oh, hello. And then I'm like,
Actual athlete.
she is so funny, but she like, I wish I was there. I wish I could have watched that. And like, she should now become a professional. Why is she
Yeah.
not a professional runner?
Yeah,
I said,
she almost
I
could
did
be
message her and said, tell me about your run. And she sent me this long message. She said that she actually got
downplaying
like
it.
16th. No, she didn't really. She said it was freaking hard,
Yes.
grueling. Perry really helped her, but she didn't know she was coming first till the last 6K. And Perry said something like, I think you're coming, I think you're in front. And like they didn't really know, which is weird. How does she not know?
Hmm.
But she said it was sort of she got the entry for free. So that's why she
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wow, you gazelle. And should she not she needs a new job and be a professional runner. Like, is that her calling? Is this her start of like wanting to win events now, do you think? Surely this is bad. If you win something like that, is she gonna think she wants to try and win others? She probably won't, but she said, I
No, I
don't think
think
I'll ever win anything again, but it
mm,
was quite cool. I was like,
yeah.
that's so cool.
I think I think Kirst does amazing to juggle, a husband who works quite like has quite a few work trips, is away a bit, and Daisy's still with her being 4 years old, and sport and all the rest of it. And um we're what I mean is trying to get out for a lot of running is quite hard
Yeah,
with
and I
her
suppose
life.
she just must have felt good on the day yesterday, like she just bossed it.
Well, it's just proof though that, she would get out for 2 to 3 runs a week, and I think her marathon that she's now training for it must be about 12 weeks away now, or
August
13
the
weeks
2nd or
away.
something like that.
Yeah, and I think she's doing
I'm
3
looking
runs
after
a
the girls.
week. She's doing the Sunshine Coast a full marathon, her first one. We will get her on the podcast, I think, to talk about this, because I think people will be interested. And anyway, it's just proof in the fact that, like, she trains hard, but also quite carefully and cleverly in what time she has, and she pushes herself really hard when she trains too.
She's got
And
good
she's
mindset,
bloody
eh?
fit and so
And she
strong.
does takes Move It Mama Hybrid 35
She
and
does
HIIT
hit
classes.
hybrid 35 and then she'd probably do a loaded and then she does her runs, which if she's not training for an event would be like 1 to 2 a week, but I do think she's trying to do 3 a week now. Um, but for her half marathon that she did in 1 hour 40, she only really got out for 2 runs a week.
Do you think she's not really like you, or I don't know if you are now, but like the cycle thing would really throw me. Like, do I pay too much attention to how I feel on my cycle? Because sometimes I go for like a walk/jog and I feel really light and great. Sometimes I just feel so bad. So how do you keep push yourself when you're feeling like shit?
Well, depends, right? There's so many variables in that
Like, what
question.
if her marathon is when she's due her period?
Well, I mean, so that was mine, right? And there's nothing you can do. You just got to do it if you want to do the marathon.
I reckon my mindset is really poor.
No, it's not because you are always making yourself do. No, it's not. That's factually incorrect. You're always making yourself do things that you don't want to do, and you're always pushing yourself hard and stuff. Running, when we think of running, you haven't been able to properly immerse yourself into running. So there are things probably holding you back mentally as well as physically with it. So I wouldn't.
So my knee's only been like this for 2.5 years, 3 years. Before that, I never immersed myself either,
Yeah, but also, if you don't really like it, don't force yourself to do it.
No, I've got a new question. What's your go-to doodle when you draw doodling on your pad?
Flowers, stars,
Mine,
and hearts.
mine's hearts, and it's like a normal heart and then an upside heart, a normal heart and an upside down heart, and I do
Yeah,
lines and then I do underneath and underneath and underneath.
that would be quite pretty.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay, we'll go.
Um, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't ever say you've got a shit mindset. You'd have one of the better ones.
Okay.
And yeah, she did amazing. I was very fucking mic dropped proud of her when she texted me, first female, and I was like, "Are you for real?" And I particularly liked this family picture at the end, of getting a glimpse of the fact that her singlet though was like saturated wet because she's just such a sweetie
Oh,
sister.
I did not look at that.
Didn't
See, I'm
you?
not, no,
I
I'm not
noticed these
observant.
things because she's so sweaty.
I'm not observant. Um, okay.
Okay.
You know
Anything
that QV cream that I posted?
mother. Mhm.
One of the beauticians and the followers was like, "Oh, this kills me."
Oh, wow. Interesting. Why? What's wrong with it?
She said, "Well, to be fair, I haven't looked at it lately, but back in the day, it was not great." I was like, "Well, actually, my doctor recommended it, and a friend of mine who's a cosmetic nurse was like, no, lovely. If you just, you can, because I swap between my O Cosmetics, like I sort of change it up and I do one day this and then she's like, no, lovely. So it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. There is always an argument either way for everything in the world. Like, you know,
Oh my
we're
God, I
getting this
know.
question a lot lately of like, how many weight sessions should I do in a week? Or do I have to do weights? You know, I mean, and then there's so much noise online about weights. Yeah, like, look, there's just arguments for
I liked your
everything.
workout yesterday that you kind of grouped them in 3 and then had different muscle groups. I thought that was quite cool. That made me happy.
Yeah, go a bit
Um,
heavier, eh?
yeah.
Mm. Okay, better go.
No, I didn't go heavier.
Okay. Yeah, because you were grumpy.
What were you using?
I was just using 12.5s.
Yeah, I was using 10s. And then for my shoulder presses, I used 7.5s. Did you use 12.5s? You did, eh? I,
Mm.
like, don't even know how you did that.
You could do that.
No, I couldn't. I didn't even bother trying with my 10.
How
That's
come?
fine, though. It was actually, like, uh, why? Um, I was quite fatigued towards the end. I would couldn't do any more.
Hmm.
Right. So I thought, well, that's fine. That's what I
That's
want.
fine.
I don't want to go over the top and then injure myself or
No,
get
you
a
don't.
crook feet. So
No,
that's what we
no.
talk about. Like Jess and I had this conversation the other day about lifting really heavy weights. Is like often, like my friend of mine was been deadlifting really heavy weights and she's hurt her back. And so you can actually you don't have to be doing that. Like you can work out and get muscles without lifting really heavy.
Well, it's
And
relative to the person as well. But like, I think this is what I sort of said on my stretch yesterday. I'm seeing a lot of talk about, you have to go to failure, that kind of vibe. But really, I just think without overcomplicating it, you just need to be really challenging yourself and challenging your muscles. And when you do exercise, there are days where you're just not going to have a day where you fully challenge yourself, right? There are days where you're just not going to do that. But in like if you but for your
a few
structured
times a
choice,
month, you should
yeah.
try and just like don't be too over the top about things, eh? Like a few times a month, really challenge yourself.
Well, a
The
few
rest of the
times a
time, be
week, really.
consistent.
A few times a week, I'd say. Like if you're doing 3 or 4 workouts a week, you're not just going to only challenge yourself on one of those. You want to challenge yourself and on at least 2 of those.
Every week, I challenge myself
Well,
though.
exactly. I know. But
I can never do a workout and go like,
I'm
oh, that
saying
was just
bare
like really
minimum. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, we'll wrap it up.
On Saturday
Anything?
night?
What?
You have a glass of wine on Saturday night,
No, I did not. No.
didn't you?
No,
You went out to a party.
I took them a bottle of champagne and like just gave it to them. And then I took 2 because I went to the dairy on my way for a kombucha. I said to the guy, got kombucha. He looked at me like, what? I said, have you got kombucha? What? I was like, really? So I bought ginger beers, 2 of them. And I said when I arrived, they offered me a drink, and I was like, actually, can I just have a wine glass? I'm just going to put in ice. And he's like, yeah, slice of lime. I was like, yeah, okay. So I had this.
And were
And
there many
hello.
people not drinking?
Not that I noticed. I think most people were drinking. Didn't
Why did you not
notice.
have a glass of wine?
Someone had this conversation with me, and I was like, none of this alcohol I care for. Like, if I was at the restaurant and someone could make me a lovely spicy mug, great. Or like, yeah, I don't. I said I'm really gutted about this. To be fair, I would love to just get loose and like rip a bottle of wine. I actually kind of would, but I don't really dislike it at
You
the
would
moment.
not. You would hate
I could not
feeling
cope with the next day. That is the issue. I could not cope with how I would
a
feel the next
waste of
day,
a
which is what
waste
puts
of
me
your
off. So
life.
even a glass of wine on Saturday night, I thought to myself, like I did imagine having one and I was driving anyway, but I was like, I don't even want that, like that, that lingering taste afterwards. No,
So when was the last alcoholic drink you had? Was it out for dinner with me?
possibly.
It's a long time ago. That's like 6 weeks ago.
Have I had another one in between? I don't think so. I probably will have one when I go to 660 in like 2 weeks. I might have like 2
See, that's where I would never want to have one. Like
because
in
it's in a
amongst all
plastic
those,
cup.
yeah, and all the yeah, that.
I think I would have one before I go with our
Mhm,
friend. Your best mate
mhm.
is staying with me.
Is
Um,
she?
yep.
Oh my
And
God, she's so random. Like I don't even know this.
she just
Are you talking about
messaged,
Lucy?
yeah,
Your Lucy won't listen to this either. But
she
like, what the heck?
she just messaged me, are you going to 660? I was like, yeah, we are. She's like, oh, me and Roy are going. And then she's like, can we stay? I said, yep, you can stay. Um, anyway,
Why would she want to stay? Like, get a hotel.
I know, but also the deal is that for some reason mum wants my children, like she's babysitting and she's like, can they stay at my house? And I was like, that works because Lucy and Roy will stay and my kids can go stay with you.
Oh, cool.
I
Oh,
got
so
an
oh, that's cool.
there's a TV show my kids always watch. It's like a made by the same people as Bloody Peppa Pig. And I think it's called Ben and Holly. And Ben's an elf and Holly's a fairy.
Is it
And
the Little Kingdom?
Yeah. Do you know that?
My kids used to love that show. Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom.
Yeah.
Ben and Holly.
Yeah, far out. It's the Peppa
It's the
Pig voices
coolest.
though.
That was like one of my
I've
favorites.
never paid any attention to it, but I just hear them watching it. And on the weekend at this party, these people I got introduced to. I thought they said Ben and Holly. I was like, "Did you say Ben and Holly?" They're like, one was English. They said, "No, it's Blair and Holly." I said, "Oh, sorry, this is," and they're like, "We know, we've got a 3 and a 6-year-old," and they get it all the time. I just thought that was really funny,
Do you
really typical.
know there was a show called Max and Ruby? Max and
And then
Ruby.
Sarah's best mate has
Ruby and
kids
Max.
called Max and
And
Ruby.
so back in the day, that's what my kids watched. And then we met Max and
Max
Ruby.
and Ruby, yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
this couple, Ben and Holly, they're actually not called Ben and Holly, but Ben and Holly,
Where?
just to call them that, were out drinking at this party on Saturday night,
Full
and
names.
they
Are they cool?
live, yeah, they were cool, and they live like a bit out of town, and they were going home to their babysitter, which was his parents, I think. And they'd driven there to the party, but they were not going to drive home, so they were going to have to mission it back to get their car the next day. And then they talked
I would
about their
not do that. That's
no,
really flexible. Well done, Blair
so
and
flexy.
Holly.
Yeah. And then and then they were telling me their hack though, which is like they're like, fuck it, we never go out together. Like, don't be stupid. So we go, like, whoever's turn it is to go out goes out, and they just don't come home. They just get the shittest hotel in the city, or just no matter what. They basically they don't come home till like 5 p.m. the next day, because the whole idea of the whole pain point for me of drinking is the
The
hangover with
next
my
day.
children. So they just like,
Oh
no,
my
but you
God,
just get
what
out
a
of it.
cool
Yeah,
couple.
I thought it was admirable.
Can I just say that I really like the name Blair and I really like the name Blake?
Yeah, I like those two names for female or male.
Mm.
Mm.
I think Blair and Holly need to come on the podcast. Are they like the couple of dreams? Like, do they?
I
How
don't know.
cool.
I know nothing else about them.
Can we?
They used to teach
Funny.
in Dubai. Yeah, teachers. Okay,
All right.
is that my sparkle spreader? That hot tip for you guys if you want to try and get a night away. That means a hotel though. I mean, that cost is adding up in this recession, isn't it?
Mm. My sparkle spreader is
Did you keep talking?
no.
Oh no. I just had to go get my sparkle spreader.
I thought you've got a sparkle spreader. You've already done it.
My sparkle spreader is that really cool shop shut the front door is closing down, but only temporarily. Such an
Okay.
iconic Christchurch shop. And I got you these socks,
For me.
which say coffee first, talk later. And they're
Why
like
did you do it for me?
beige and brown because that was screaming you. My ones are like that, and
Oh my God, cool.
they say, here comes cool mum. And then Shah, just because Tommy always
I
goes,
should have got Here Comes Cool Mum, and you should have got the coffee one.
possibly, but your color palette is beige, so they're beige.
Hmm.
Um, and you know how Tommy is always actually he says like mum, mummy, mum. But I thought Shark gets these ones called mum, mum, mum. But my peak, the first ones that I
I
actually
want those
saw.
ones. Mum,
Oh,
mum,
okay.
mum.
Oh well, okay. The first
They're
ones that I
pink.
actually saw were for Sarah Hobbs though, and they're green and like orange, and they say horny for houseplants. How fun! They're from shut the
Mm.
front door.
I want new socks, actually. That's cool.
You've got one pair.
Um, okay.
The brand of sock, if you want to know, is called Anti-Gone. And they're very cool socks.
Why are they shutting down? And is it just a Christchurch shop? I thought it was a New Zealand shop.
I don't know, but they're relocating, but not till like October.
Oh,
What you got? Anything?
no,
Nah.
no, sorry.
Okay. That's okay. That's fine.
I don't know. I can't think. I don't really have one. Um, Sparkle Spreader. I've watched two movies, two in a row,
What were they?
romantic ones.
Yeah. Any good?
Nah, they were in like the top 10 on the net. Like one was this Australian chick called like maybe Only You or something. It's
Are
on
you
Netflix.
joking? Anyone but you with Sydney Sweeney?
Nah,
Not
nah,
her?
not Sydney Sweeney. How do I find this out?
I don't know.
Do
Sydney
I look at
Sweeney
the
is in Sydney, and she was apparently named after Sydney. the
I think
city.
Sydney Sweeney is just super hot. No, it's not her. Let me
Okay.
just check for you and tell you what it was, okay? So the first one I watched, Carlos watched them both with me. So cute. Because Dan goes to bed at 7, and I'm just like, the boys are out. It's a weekend. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I watched because I can go do Netflix on my phone.
Okay.
Movies. Okay. How do I see? Okay. It was called Anyone But You.
With Sydney Sweeney.
No, it's not that one. It's not that one. Why do I keep going to that one?
I don't know.
You Always.
Okay.
And it's with the boy with blue eyes, Adrian Grenier,
Mm-hmm.
Jessica DeGale, Desmond. Yeah, it was lame.
Okay. So
That
we don't.
one.
Okay.
Nah. And then the other one I watched was
Adrian Grenier's pretty hot sauce, though.
I don't actually think he would be in real life. I reckon he'd be really little.
Brutal.
I'm such a bitch. Okay, I can't see the other one I watched. It was so dumb though. Oh,
Oh.
hang on, I'll find it. No,
Okay.
they're
I
all
want.
boring. I'm on a grump.
Oh yeah, I want to go see the Michael movie, Michael Jackson. That'll be quite interesting. Mum's like,
Rico
no
went and saw that.
way, I would never go see it. What did Rico say?
Rico saw it. I don't actually know. I haven't actually talked to him about it.
Okay.
I'm going to the circus next Saturday night. That's my sparkle spreader.
Which circus?
Rio.
Oh, okay. Take a
Going with
blanket.
my
Seems to
little
be
boys.
that the people that frequent circuses seem to know the real deal, and that is that they take blankets. That's what I
Why?
found. I mean,
Mm.
Christchurch, the tent's not fully closed, so
Yeah.
all these people had blankets. It
That's
felt
cute.
like everyone
Be
at the
cozy.
circus was equipped for the circus, and like it wasn't their first rodeo, and I felt like a real novice at the circus.
Circuses are so weird, eh? Like,
So strange. Yeah.
maybe I need to get a job in the circus.
Well, Nina
Really?
thought the girl looked a lot like you in the circus.
Yes. Yes. Okay. See ya.
Okay. You got anything else, or are you out?
No.
Okay. See you next time on the Sparkle Pod, where vibes will be way more high. Bye.
You've actually gone from low to quite high vibe, and I don't think I have this
Yeah,
time.
you've left me in the lurch. Lurch? Lurch. Lurk.
Lurch.
Lurch. Okay. Kaki dick. See you next time.
See you, bye.
Bye.